Smear campaigns are a form of damage control used by narcissists when they become aware that they have been exposed. This was when I forgave my dad, my father, my father. I was going through a divorce from my third husband, which is the father of my children, the biological father of my children, and it was bad. Now, mind you, I had been married twice before him, and for the most part, the divorces weren't that hard, you know, like I was a beast with it. I was a beast for real. Like when I said I was done, I was done. I was a beast. But my third husband gave me a run for my money for sure. He gave me a hard time. And we fought over the kids about who was going to get custody. And he really made it hard for me. So we were doing a lot of back and forth. I was stationed in Augusta at the time, Fort Gordon, and I was coming back and forth to Alabama. It's a 4-hour drive one way. And it's like straight up I-20. It's like no biggie really, but I would just get in the car and just do it. Just knock it out. I could do a turn and burn and just get on the road, come here, and go straight back. But I can't do that no more. Those long driving days are over, y'all. I don't do nothing over 6 hours, and I don't even want to do that for real. But so I was coming back and forth to Alabama, fighting him. We were in court, meetings with the lawyer. It was just some foolishness. I'm not gonna really get into a whole bunch of detail about that. Not on this video, but in another video. But anyway, so I was having a hard time. Getting the kids because I actually I was doing some training and I had to leave the kids with their dad. And when I got done with training, he wouldn't give them back to me. He wouldn't give them back. Yeah, he wouldn't give them back. I was like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to keep them. But anyway, so I had to fight him to get him back. I couldn't just take him. I tried that, but it didn't work. So I had to, we had to get the police involved, and it was a mess. Get judges involved. Yeah, it was a mess. But it took a real emotional toll on me. That's when I really noticed that I started really getting sick. And my father saw how it was bothering me. And I was never really the type to cry. I would definitely never let my father see me cry. It's just and just for some reason, I didn't trust him with my tears. I didn't trust him to see my tears. What was he gonna do? So it's he doesn't need to see them. There's nothing good is gonna come of him seeing my tears. But that day, I remember I was in uniform, and I thought that would help the situation, and besides, I was technically still on duty. I wasn't even really, a lot of times I wasn't even supposed to be down here, or I wasn't even supposed to be in Alabama, but, I would leave, and because it was kind of quick trip, I could get here and get back without my commander knowing or anything. But this day, I came down in uniform, and we were at the police station, and I was trying to get the kids without, causing a scene, without anything getting ugly between the families or anything like that. And they told me I couldn't get them. They were just because he and I were still legally married, like I actually had to have a court order, that they were to be with me. And I just broke down. Like I couldn't take it. It's just like, what do you mean? Like, they're my kids. I mean, like, what do you mean? You know? So I took, my hat and I just buried my face in it. I just cried. But I still couldn't, even in that moment, allow my father to actually see the tears fall. So I buried my face. And then that day, he asked me, he was like, what you want me to do? He was like, you want me to take him out? And he was talking about my kids' family, their father and his family. Says even the families had gotten in the middle of it. It was a mess. And he offered to kill them. And of course I said no, but it was like just the fact that he asked, just like that. Not, it wasn't about that. I just felt that he finally like understood, and he finally like got it, like he got like how a parent loves their child and how they should, and how heartbroken I was to be separated from them. And I thought in that moment that he got it, that, and that he'd do anything for me. I didn't feel that way before. I didn't feel that, he really had my back, or that he, he was just down for me. But he convinced me in that moment that he was. And it was just because it was like he sent the message that I love you, and even though I don't know how to love like this, I know how to love in my own way, and I'm willing to do that for you. And so I even forgave him just for even asking that question. Cuz I mean, I was mad. Like, I was mad as hell. I was angry at, you know, at my son's father and at his family. I was very angry. Very angry. But never to the point where I wanted them dead, you know? How could I even want to take them from my sons when my sons loved and adored them so much? I could just never even imagine taking them away from my kids. Taking them away from the world. But it wasn't about that. That part didn't. It was just like, no, like, come on, you know. But I was like, man, he's finally trying to like protect me, and you know, when you're dealing with like a person who puts their child in a place where they're responsible for them. That's how my father was. It was like we were responsible for his safety. Because remember, you guys, there were people who were trying to kill my father. that's the story I grew up with my entire life. It was like people are trying to kill him. And so everything I did was in protection of my father. He would say that people could follow us home trying to get to him. And so we were just like, as kids, we were like watchful. And can you imagine being a kid just having to watch and make sure, like, is this person trying to follow me so they can come and kill my father? It was like, it was crazy. But it was like that one time, it's like, man, he understands. It's like he gets it. He gets it. Like, to be a parent, he understands now. It's like I wanted to believe that. And I was like, I forgive him. I forgive him for all of it. I forgive him for the physical abuse. I forgive him for the spiritual abuse. I forgive him for the emotional abuse. I forgive him for the lies. I forgive him. It was like I just realized, like, he's just a black man who was a victim of his circumstances and surroundings. And although he still had a lot of those unsavory characteristics about him, then he was, he was all right. He was a decent person. He was trying. He had potential. So I forgave him. And then I found out from my mother that he was really only saying that to manipulate me. I knew within my spirit a few years like after that that's why he did it. I knew. I think honestly I knew then. But I wanted to believe. And really I just thought, if I believe this, if I speak this, then this will be my reality. But it was a game. I believe that's where the trauma bond was supposed to happen. That's where I was supposed to be so enmeshed with him. That was his opportunity to bind me, to seal this loyalty that he expected from me. So those who won't speak out about him now, who have seen him do some really egregious things, it makes me believe that he's done some really egregious things for them, in their name or on their behalf, or he made them believe that he was doing it for them, to bind them to some type of forever loyalty or something. Yep. That was the moment he was supposed to seal me in, to lock me in. But I didn't go for it. I just kept it in the back of my mind as, this man has the potential to do this. And I believe ultimately that was the message I needed to receive. All right. Stay tuned for the next story. Bye-bye for now.
Hold this man's conduct up to public scrutiny. Let him defend it if he can.